Take a trip to Mexico for the holidays with T.G. Sheppard and Kelly Lang today on the Music Universe podcast.
Oh, Matt, you in the holiday spirit yet?
I abide by the Branson, Missouri rule. Do you know what that is?
Actually, I don't.
The Branson, Missouri rule, and this was just how it was. I studied Branson all growing up. Went there several times. I think it's a little different now. I actually think they start earlier because there's so many shows and so few theaters now that the shows rotate out. So they start before Halloween. But it was November 1st. That was Tinseltown. That's also Disney. Mm-hmm. That's also Disney. Halloween goes away like the Halloween weekend, last weekend, maybe after the first weekend in November. And then overnight, they don't go back to neutral for a little bit. They go right into holiday mode. So when people yell at you for listening to Christmas music too early, tell them all the other cool places start November 1st. So I am in the Christmas mood.
Our tree has been up since the day after Halloween. So it's been up. And it's the earliest it's ever gone up.
I love that.
But my daughter was bugging me, so we put it up. So it's up. I mean, I got to deal with the cats climbing it and trying to get the ornaments, but I deal with it, and it's up.
My tree will get here sometime soon from QVC.
Tell me about it.
It's coming pre-lit with white and colored lights, and then my parents are going to bring me ornaments from the home. So, and some other Christmas decoration. I'm a big Christmas nut.
So why QVC? You could have ran to Target.
It was a today's special value, buddy. Okay? I'm a 40-year-old middle-aged housewife. I like QVC. It's just a crazy week. I'll tell you what, though, before we get to our guest today, I have to tell you, I have succumbed, buddy Jan.
Mm-hmm.
I am now a member of Apple Music.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why? Because of the trip?
No, I thought, fine. I'd probably spend more money in a year on music than I would on a subscription. And it's a good way to I like that song, I'll buy it. I like that song, I'll buy it. So it's just a way for me to spend more money. But I decided to sign up. $9 a month starting in February because I got the 3-month trial. I don't know. It's like you want to listen to all this music and then you sign up and then it's like, what do I listen to? I had the day off on Monday. I was like, I have all these subscription services on my smart TV and there was nothing to watch, nothing to listen to on music. I don't know. I think streaming, sadly, is the way of the future. And you just got to deal with it.
All right, and the podcast is done. Let's go.
Okay. Screw you.
I'm kidding. I my thoughts on it. I hate it. I'm old fashioned. I want the physical copy, but if it's not available physically, I pay to download it because I don't want somebody telling me you can't have that anymore. You just paid for it, but I'm taking it from you.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem fair to me or anybody else, So that's not me. I don't stream. I do listen to SiriusXM, which correlates to this podcast actually, but as far as that goes, I gotta own it.
Sure. Well, and I gotta own it too, but I figured 3 months, try it, see if I like it. I probably won't.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes.
Cancel.
Anyway.
Yeah, you could always cancel.
Let's get to today's episode. T.G. Sheppard, legend, 21 number ones in his career. Equally legendary, Kelly Lang. She is just awesome, the sweetest soul ever. Their new song, Christmas in Mexico, boy, like I said at the top, it really does transport one to Mexico. It's a great single.
And we need some type of, vacation feeling, vacation vibey thing going on, Caribbean vibe, I should say, for this Christmas since everyone's been locked away for the most part and hasn't gone anywhere.
No. And that's pretty much what we talk about because TG has some health issues. So they've pretty much stayed at home. They haven't started to percolate and be sociable like me and you. They've stayed home. They've stayed home.
Yeah.
I'm past that point. I'm back to wanting to live life. I think they're getting there. TG's eyeing 2021, but we'll let them tell you. The song is Christmas in Mexico, And here is just our conversation with one of the most fun couples in country music, T.G. Sheppard and Kelly Lang. T.G. Sheppard and Kelly Lang, welcome to the Music Universe podcast. Kelly, welcome back. T.G., welcome to the craziness. How are the two of you today?
We're doing great. We're sitting here at home where we have been for many months. we venture out to do things from time to time. We've been doing some TV work and some studio work on new music, but we're sitting around the kitchen table. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Oh, well, we appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to talk with you today about something that I think we've longed for all year, but somehow got quicker than it ever got here quicker than it ever should because of lockdown, and that is the Christmas season. This new song, Christmas in Mexico, very tropical. I know a lot of people wish they could be quarantining somewhere tropical. What does Christmas mean to the both of you?
Well, Christmas is, I don't know, it's a time for family and spirit, celebrating Christ. And we always enjoy this time. Kelly enjoys this time of year because she gets nice Christmas gifts and a lot of time with the credit card. But Christmas is always fun for me because I think it gives you permission during the holidays to shut down totally, because you know that things aren't really, happening like they normally are through the year. So you're forced to kind of take that time off during the holidays to really relax, spend time with the family, and celebrate. Although it's been Christmas all year this year with COVID, we've been home a lot, but we love Christmas. Kelly does, don't you, Kel?
I sure do. I love shopping for people. Actually, I think it's going to be kind of different this year because we don't have a big crowd coming over. But we decided to release the song Christmas in Mexico because in my mind that's where I'm going to have to pretend like I am this year to make it all right.
It was fun to do the new single duet because Kelly and I sat down and wrote the song one day in just a matter of minutes, and it's always been something that we have enjoyed doing, is singing together, and we had a chance to write this one together and record it. So it's we're looking forward to people hearing this new Christmas song.
And when did you write and record this?
Oh my goodness, I think we wrote it
Several years ago.
maybe 15 years ago.
Was it 15 years?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was before we got married. And he had recorded it as a solo on a project many, many years ago, and we just kind of didn't think much more about it. And we were looking at an opportunity to do a Christmas show this year, and I said, what do we have that's original? I want to do something different. And the subject of doing that song on the Bailey and Vincent Christmas show came up, and we thought that might make a fun duet, which led us to you.
All roads lead back to us, right?
I love doing songs that take you somewhere when you hear them, and that sometimes a song can paint a picture for you. And when you hear the steel drums and the trumpets, the Mexican trumpets, the mariachi band, you think of the Caribbean. And of course, who wouldn't want to be in the Caribbean when it's cold, if it's cold wherever you are? And so it was fun to escape to Mexico in this song. And we had a lot of fun recording it.
Now, so you guys, this is newly recorded instrumentation too, correct?
Oh, yes. We just went in the studio a few months ago and finished it up most recently. And I actually have a video that is going to coincide with the release of this.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be personal video from us in our studio and vacations that we've taken together to the beach. And we're just really excited to share our personal vacation with you.
Oh, that's exciting.
We can live by proxy our vacations through you guys. What was the process like recording it? Do you have a home studio? Did you actually go somewhere in Nashville and like social distance? How did it come to be?
Well, we record in different studios in town. We record at Starstruck, which is Reba McEntire's studio, a beautiful facility down on Music Row. We recorded a place called the Wave.
This is called Hilltop, where we recorded this one.
Hilltop Studios is where we recorded this particular song. But we tend to not record at home. A lot of people do, because Kelly and I love recording so much that if we had a studio in the house, we would never use the rest of the house. We'd be living in the studio and working 24/7. So we tend to go to different studios in town and whichever one's available at the time and record.
That's great. How did you do it with all the people? How did you manage people for the new instrumentation?
Well, we have a dear friend, very talented musician and engineer and producer,
Mm-hmm.
and
He
his
works
name
with
is
us.
his name is Buddy Hyatt. We work with him on all of our projects, and he hires all of the A-team players to come in, so they all stay in a separate room. As far as COVID is, everybody's safe distance and masked on, and TG and I, because we've been quarantined together, we got to go straight into the vocal booth, and some of the video is me holding a handheld cell phone up, videotaping he and I in our own booth, so nobody's in there with us. And so it's different. It's definitely different, but it's doable. And if I didn't, and I can't speak for you, TG, but if I can't have a outlet for creativity in the studio, I would be so sad. I mean, it's been a wonderful outlet for us.
Well, going through COVID right now, being in the studio has really, not being able to tour. Kelly and I are home. She's not doing shows. I haven't done any shows since March. Probably won't do any until January or February. So
Wow.
recording and being in the studio with the musicians all at one time kind of fulfills that thing that we need, that musical thing that we need, that we're not getting on the road, is getting a chance to be around musicians and perform and record.
Right. And has the pandemic allowed you guys to write more and perhaps record more, since you guys were already doing the Christmas track?
Well, strangely enough, it's had me reflect back on things that I have written already. And a few things that I had written in the past have now come to fruition because of COVID. I started thinking about like a lullaby project that I wrote many years ago that I never had released digitally, which is called Lullaby Country. And that's out now. And if I hadn't taken the time to be really quiet and realize what I could be doing with my time, that would not be there. Another thing is a song that I wrote 16 years ago, since COVID hit, as now making a national debut. It's a national commercial for Ascension Hospitals called "I'm Not Going Anywhere," and I honestly think it's been more meaningful because of the imagery they used in the commercial during COVID. I think it just has such a deeper meaning now, that people need to be reassured that somebody's going to be there and take care of them. And, of course, us deciding I released an album of old classic songs called Old Soul this year in September. And I've just been, busy just doing things like that. If I don't stay busy, I get really crazy.
Well,
like,
translation, you drive TG crazy, right?
Yeah, I think I do.
I'm very blessed to be married to a lady who understands what I do for a living, guys. I mean, how many people can be married to a person who has experienced being on stage, writing music, doing concerts, singing? So therefore, when I do go on the road and I come home, Kelly knows everything I've been through. I can talk about something that might have happened on stage and she can relate. So I'm very fortunate during these times to be married to my best friend and be married to somebody who understands the business, because she is a veteran of this business. She's been in this business, gosh, for 35, 40 years. I mean, so she knows the business and how it works.
And that's a miracle, because I'm only 35.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's interesting you say that, because the flip side of that coin, and I'm so glad you look at it that way, because the flip side of that coin is sometimes, I don't think so much in music marriages, but in other show business marriages, the fact that you both have such high profile, high pressure careers, sometimes it doesn't work. So how do you guys make it work, I guess, just by finding that common ground and working together? Is that fair to say?
Well, we don't compete with each other. We really and truly encourage each other. I mean, I fully support everything that Kelly does. I'm her biggest fan. And I hope and feel that she's the same with me. And so she supports me. And if I'm having a tough day in the business, I mean, she's there to lift me up. And I do the same for her. So it's really and truly, it works for us because we don't compete. We work together as a team.
Well, it also helps that I knew him when he was at his peak of his career. I knew him and saw him perform. I knew what he was about and how hard it took to get him there. So, in my view, he's on a pedestal to me. And so I know who is the star of this couple, and so I've always
come on.
I do, and I've always really honored him like that. And
Here's $20.
no, I'm
Man,
just
if only we
saying,
had done a video
I always
version of
knew
this.
my place. Now have I enjoyed my own career and my own successes? Of course, but as much as I am a cheerleader to him, he is exactly that to me. And I think if you get into competitiveness, it could really put a strain on a marriage, honestly. But it has worked beautifully for us.
Okay, $40. I'll give you $40.
So I guess with TG having the 21 number one hits, you guys don't fight over that?
No, I've never judged my career on number one records. I've judged my career on the people that follow what I do. I'm blessed to have had longevity all these years and to still go out and tour extensively and work as much as I want. So I don't really judge a career on number ones. I've been blessed to have had that many, and they were wonderful, and they've given me longevity. But I just really and truly love performing, and as long as there's people sitting in the audience, I'm going to be doing it. And we're blessed to have had that many number one records to go out and still work.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that since last time we talked, they weren't really doing any type of shows, but now they're doing like these social distancing shows where your group is in pods. Have you guys thought of doing that? Maybe even starting next year when you mentioned maybe playing shows again?
I thought of it, but I don't know how safe even that is. Our daughter right now and her new fiance had just come down with COVID.
Oh.
And yeah, when it hits home, you think for the longest time it wasn't something that we were greatly affected by personally. But now that we've had several friends, several people that have passed, and I'm like, we're fine staying at home, and we can do the thing via Facebook if we need to, but I'm not really safe and comfortable feeling getting around crowds just yet.
Well, we're afforded a new tool to work with. COVID has brought about Zoom, which, Zoom is a wonderful thing that puts you out there with your fans. And of course, we're very big on social media with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. So we have several pathways to be able to stay in touch, but I really truly find it hard to do shows when there's not people sitting in the audience, because I think a performer performs better when they feed off of the applause and the audience sitting there, and you can look into the eyes of people who have come to see you, and it's very fulfilling. There's an energy there that you can't find when you're doing it differently. So
we've been asked to do several shows, and we politely declined because I just, TG's had some health issues, heart and lung issues in the past, and I had cancer in the past, and it's just when you've had bad health, you really cherish your good health, and I just don't want to take a chance on either one of us being responsible for someone else getting sick or for us to get sick, and it's until it's just really comfortable to me. I just feel the best to stay home.
I'm planning on going back out starting in January. Of course, that's all going to depend on what COVID does between now and then. But we're starting to book up a pretty full schedule for next year with live audiences. So we're hopeful that the vaccine will come and that it will work, and that people will have a comfort level to get out and go sit next to each other once again at shows.
Yeah, there's no getting past not being able to see a live music. I just miss it so much. I really, really do.
It'll come back. It might look a little different for a little while, but it'll come back. I mean, depends on the vaccine. TG, like you said, it depends on what the virus does. Depends on what happens as we get into the cold months here. But, we have music like what you guys are doing to warm us up in the meantime.
Well, I've been blessed to have another job that I love doing every week. I have my own radio show on Sirius XM Elvis Radio every Friday, and so I'm busy putting that show together each week, and have been afforded a great luxury of having some great artists on the show, and so I get a chance to be on the radio and still be heard every Friday on Sirius XM channel 19 on Elvis Radio from 2 to 6 Central and 3 to 7 Eastern. So anybody out there has a Sirius Radio, be sure to tune us in on channel 19 every Friday.
Yeah, and I've got Sirius. It's great to have that, and just that eclectic availability of everything you want. And so many people are doing their shows from home. I'm assuming you're doing the same.
Yes, I do a lot from home. We plug into Sirius XM at Graceland, and matter of fact, just today I was doing some interviews and stuff with people. I just got off of the Zoom with Engelbert Humperdinck, who is going to be my guest here in a couple of weeks, and so we're able to go on, and thank God for computers and Zoom to where we can put shows together on radio.
Yeah. Before we wrap here, I want to get back to the Christmas theme. What are you guys? I know it's going to look different. You can't have the big party with all the people. What are you guys most looking forward to this holiday season?
People would think it's funny, but TG and I love to prop up in the bed and watch Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm coming over. We're coming to Nashville. I'm coming over.
You have to, right? So what we do, we watch sometimes 2 or 3 at a time, and I don't know. We don't really have any, like I said, anything planned with family or anything. So we're just going to do that, and we're going to have our own Christmas celebration. And, this December, we have been together as of December 6th, 20 years.
Wow.
And I really wanted to go somewhere and celebrate, but what do you do? There's really not really any place you can go. So we're going to pretend, and we're going to play Christmas in Mexico over and over again.
Well, 20 years, it goes so quickly. It seems more like 40 years to me.
No thanks.
Hey, wait a minute. We were just talking about how 15 years ago you went away and you weren't married yet. So there were 5 years before that. TG, why do you move so fast? Okay.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't know.
Wait, we dated 7 years.
7
long years.
Some men just have. I don't know. I've been married most of my adult life, and so I really and truly was not in a hurry to marry again. But I always knew that if I ever got married again, it would be Kelly. And I can't remember a time in my life when she wasn't in it. And it's just, I really and truly am fortunate because I have wound up in life with the person that I'm supposed to. I wound up with my soulmate, and I have wound up with the girl of my dreams.
I love that.
So I expect a really nice Christmas gift after that, huh?
He already gave you $40.
The problem though is he doesn't know how to shop online, so I'll buy myself a Christmas gift.
Here, wrap this.
Yeah.
Trust me, TG, I've had my own heart issues in my life. And so there was a time during lockdown when it was really, really bad that I was like, I'm not going anywhere. You are not getting me out this house. I stayed in the house, I think, for a month straight before I left to go do anything. And so I can totally understand. But what I will say is I have some scientists in my family, and what's happening is the virality of this virus, so it's infecting more people, but it's not as severe as it used to be because it's learning, I kill my host too quickly. I should not do that. So, it's not as severe as it was. Certainly somebody with health issues and who's older, it's still dangerous. But the the severity of it is subsiding, even if cases are going up.
Well, the cases are going up, but it's mutating in many different forms now. So hopefully it's not as bad as it was in the beginning. I'm seeing more people starting to survive. But in the beginning, it felt like if you got COVID, it was wow, your chances were slim to live. But I think it's getting now to where hopefully it's mutated into a milder form of COVID, I hope.
Well, sometimes you just have to live. You just have to just go, okay, if it's my time to go, I've got to live. I've got to get out and breathe, and so we go out and we venture, and then we go, oh, we shouldn't have done that. So then we'll stay home for 4 or 5 days.
Well, I don't know if you're like me. I tend to forget sometimes because I'm a people touchy-feely kind of person, and I'm a hugger and a handshaker, and I sometimes will walk up to somebody and forget and reach out and hug and then go, whoa, wait a minute here, elbow me or foot me or something. Yeah. But no, it's just we've been very, very blessed to have had a lot going on in our lives during COVID, and we do feel we'll be through it shortly. And I also want to mention too that I've spent a lot of time here this year working on my new album, Midnight Memphis. Which came out this year, my first country solo album in 22 years. And it's been a lot of fun. And I'll be coming with a new single probably in February off of that album. So, anybody that wants to keep up with what Kelly and I are doing, you can follow us on, as I say, on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and keep up with where we are.
If you want your website.
My website?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can go to tgsheppard.com and keep up with our tour dates that's coming up in 2021.
I'm really excited about his new website that's going to be debuting in a week or so, because we have gone back and pulled vintage albums, some of them still in the wrapper. And if somebody was interested in buying an actual classic vinyl album, he is willing to sign them. And it's something that we've never offered on there before. So I hope that will go over well. And then you can reach me at kellylang.net. I've got brand new material on there as well.
Love that. Love that there's new material, new things coming, hopefully a tour happening, and a Christmas single. Christmas in Mexico, my gosh, I wish that's where we could spend it. T.G. Sheppard, Kelly Lang, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're so sweet.
The pleasure was ours, and we appreciate you. Stay safe, and happy holidays.
But, they're always a pleasure to talk with. Now, as we said, Kelly, we chatted with earlier this year and was super sweet, such a blast. And then TG, it was really cool to have them both together and just the fun that they were having with us and stuff. It was really sweet.
Now, you were saying, oh my gosh, this Nashville trip. If you guys watch Weekend Notes, where we announced the trip, it's, oh my gosh, you gave me 2 weeks notice and that's that. No, buddy, I wish I was there right now. You got to understand, my goal, now that I'm here in D.C. and now that I'm the way I am and I'm independent, my goal is to travel once a month. So very, very few times will I ever have more than 2 or 3 weeks notice. So I want to be there now. I close my eyes. I'm not in Mexico. I'm in Nashville. And in fact, I don't know that I ever told you this. I drank my very first beer in Nashville.
What?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I drank my very first beer. It was Coors, and it was horrible, but it was in Nashville. You move through life with goals and standards you set for yourself. Now, I'm no prude. I'm no goody two-shoes. If you saw my Grindr account, you would agree with that. But different podcast.
TMI.
So I've had a glass of wine here and there at a holiday celebration growing up, under the supervision of family. But I very intentionally was like, my beer is for my 21st birthday. That is something I want to say in my life, and that's it. We went to Nashville, and I wanted to have my first beer at the Bluebird Cafe. Well, we couldn't do that. It was at some Opry offshoot, some restaurant. Actually, they had a neat gift shop. I bought a book there. I'll tell you what, I was so disappointed that we couldn't find a good restaurant, like a good, unique restaurant. We went back to a tourist trap, and I had a Coors. We celebrated my 21st birthday in Nashville because I had done my 20th the summer of my 20th birthday in Las Vegas interning for Terry Fader. So I decided, they said, where do you want to go? I said, Nashville. So we drove down. It was about a 13-hour drive. And it was fun. So I haven't been to Nashville since I was 21. So it'll be neat. It'll be really, really cool.
You know, that does surprise me because, for one, I thought you've been to Nashville multiple times since.
No.
And two, I didn't think you drank at all.
I don't, but like it's your 20. Well, I'll have a beer here or there. It's your 21st birthday.
Okay, are we having a beer together in Nashville? Just answer yes or no.
If you can keep the child in her room, yes. But that's a you and me going to the bar at the Opryland late at night situation.
No, that's not going to happen then.
Man time.
Hey, how about one at dinner or something?
Oh yeah, that's
what I'm
fine.
talking about.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But the trip's gonna be fun. Clearly, it's happened after this airs, but you can see all of our antics on social media. So be sure to check it out if you haven't already. And
here I am talking about it like you're gonna air this before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've done like 5 interviews today. I need to go have a regular
beer?
drink. No, a non-alcoholic drink, and get ready for my last 2. So for the Music Universe podcast, I'm Matt.
And I'm Buddy. Thanks for listening, and keep checking out themusicuniverse.com for the latest news, reviews, and notable releases, as well as weekend notes and a video version of notable releases on YouTube and IGTV. Brittany does the IG Lives, and follow us on social media for all kinds of other weird antics. Take care.